There are already signs the tag team plan may be falling apart. Kasich said voters in Indiana should still vote for him. And Cruz's campaign told supporters not to go along with the tactical voting plan. The Cruz-Kasich alliance is the latest twist in what's been an ugly and controversial GOP race.
Yeah, so what does this actually mean, though, for the candidates? We want to bring in now our political analyst, Brian Sobel. And Brian, my first question is, will this strategy work?
Well, Heather, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, it's not a very well-conceived plan. I think it's going to be taken as somewhat insulting by voters in those states. It's already falling apart. You've got both candidates saying, hey, still vote for me. I don't know where they were going with this, to be honest with you.
And Brian, the idea was to try to defeat Trump. That's what the so-called GOP establishment has been trying to do almost from the get-go when Trump jumped out ahead of the pack. But now they're saying this is too little too late. It really doesn't make a difference, whatever they try to come up with, because there's so little time left in this campaign.
Well, Ken, it eventually comes down to, can Trump get the number of nominees he needs to go into the convention and on the first ballot be nominated as the GOP candidate for president? That still has not happened yet, and so you have GOP senior leaders and other people who do not want Donald Trump to receive the nomination, cooking up various, I'll call them schemes, to try to derail the Trump campaign. You know, if they can do that, if they can get him into the convention and he doesn't win on the first ballot, then all bets are off, and it may be a very, very interesting convention indeed.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, you know, throughout this campaign, Trump has sort of said, I'm not the establishment. He hasn't sort of said that. That is what he has said. Doesn't this sort of play right into his whole philosophy, his whole campaign?
Well, yes. It really speaks to his continuing narrative that the books are cooked and that things are predetermined, and he's going to, I think, gain some mileage from this, to be quite honest. I don't know why these two campaigns would have come up with this idea, and I don't think it'll work at the end of the day anyway.
Brian, I want to ask you something. This kind of falls into Trump's conspiracy theory as well. California, of course, a big player, and for the first time in many years, our primary could be very relevant in this campaign. Yeah. The chairman of the Republican Party in Alameda County has said that there are Democrats now trying to register as Republicans to vote in this election for Donald Trump. That's according to the chairman of the party. Is this part of some kind of nefarious plan by Democrats to try to get Trump the nomination, thinking that he has the best chance to lose in the general election?
Really hard to say, Ken. You know, you have all these scenarios where you have the Dems supposedly voting for the Republican, and in other states, other scenarios. Hard to say. Again, you know, voters are not, you know, people that don't think through what they're being asked to do. And so the idea of, you know, taking a block of voters and saying, do something to get a result is just, it's unworkable. It doesn't seem to work very well, and hasn't in, you know, through past campaigns. It's real hard to tell an individual voter how to vote, because they all have a conscience and they want to do the right thing.
Yeah, I also think, Brian, when you mention to any political candidate, hey, we want you to intentionally lose, I don't really think that that's very realistic. Hey, thanks so much for sharing your political insight. Yeah, it's been a very interesting campaign, and that continues. Thank you.
More to come.
Yes.